Hello, Core 3 Topics students. This is Marcos, and I'm coming to you with our final week 16 briefing for our topics branding assignment. And I want to just make this nice and quick so that each of you have a chance to just understand fully what you need to have ready, not only for the upcoming finals on Tuesdays and Thursday of this coming week, but also what you should be turning in to finalize the best possible grade you can get. A reminder that I am an A making machine. I make A's. And for you to get an A, you just have to make sure you've got everything turned in as required, that each week for the branding project, you've been posting on the Google Drive your progress, no matter where you're at, that there's something uploaded there. And that you're also posting your final presentation as well as a recording of your presentation. I'll get more into that in a bit here. But first, just a quick review of what you'll be doing for your final deliverables. Right now, you're creating your final presentation deck, and I want to just remind everybody in a minute here what's due for that, what should be part of your deck. I don't want anyone to miss out on anything. I know we've been kind of working in parts, and now it's a time for the presentation to come together as a full narrative story of your process from concept to strategy to design options for what the brand could be, and then to fully realizing the brand and telling that story through visuals and mock-ups. And then I'm requiring everybody to record your video like I'm doing right now. Use Zoom or whatever way Google Meets, however it works, but Zoom works for me. Record yourself just like this, put yourself up in the corner here, and do a presentation of your final project in the same way that you'll be doing on your review this coming week. If you want to do it before, that's kind of a great idea because it'll give you a good chance to practice it and get it right, or do it afterwards. But the key is that you do it, because I want everyone to have a recording sort of set as something you can look at in the coming weeks. You can share it with your family, or something you can look at it in a year, or even in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It's something that is good to have as a record of the work you're doing here at Parsons. So please do that. It's part of your grade. Do not break the A making machine. He's here to make an A for you, but if you don't do that, you'll mess it up. So make sure you do that. And then the biggest part also is that the presentations this coming week. And I want you to be able to present on either Tuesday or Thursday. I've got a schedule I'll be sharing here. We've got it all set up, and be part of that presentation. And this is a chance to practice the idea of delivering a presentation in front of people, and also getting feedback, which all it's been is me so far. So I will be bringing in guests to be able to give fresh and outside feedback from someone who knows nothing about your concept at all and knows a lot about communication and design. All right, so how is the finals going to work? We're going to have 2 different days, and right now it's Saturday, and the strike is still going. Sounds like it might be getting close to an end, but who knows? And what I just have to do is I have to proceed with a plan, and I don't want to have in-class sessions if there's a possibility that the strike will still be on. So I'm just going to plan for this to be online and on Zoom, and that we break it up into 2 different days. As you can see here on the screen, this is the allocation of who's going what day, and we kind of have it nicely broken up equally. And what you'll be able to do is zoom in and present to fellow classmates. And what I do want to offer is if I do want to offer sort of an unofficial option, if you really want to get out of your dorm room and be in a somewhat class setting, I will offer coming to my office on either Tuesday or Thursday. I have a small office, like I'm telling you guys, but I also have a conference room right next door to the conference room for the floor next door to my office. And there'll be enough room for, if everyone shows up, we can make it work. If a few show up, great. So if you really want to trek out and get outside, come to the office and email me if that's what you want to do, and I'll send you details. But that's not required. We can do this all on Zoom, and the guest judges will be on Zoom, and this way you'll be able to get good feedback. And also, part of what you'll be doing in the presentation as a non-presenter is I'm going to have a Google document. Am I saying it right? What you fill out like a survey. I want each of you to provide feedback to at least 3 different other fellow students, and to do that in written form using the survey, so that we can consolidate our time best and just let the review judges give feedback, so that we have enough time for everybody. And also, part of an assignment is I want you to be able to give good written criticism, or not criticism, but feedback on your fellow presenters, pointing out the things you think were strong. You don't have to get into like what I would have done kind of stuff. So a simple form, just another thing I want you to do in order to keep the A making machine cruising at A level. All right, so these are the people on both Tuesday and Thursday. I said earlier that everyone needs to attend. You don't just go to the one for your class, but make sure you're able to see 3 different people and give feedback. If anyone who's not in town and maybe in a crazy time zone and wants to go first or last, like, just email me again and let me know, and we'll make sure that happens, or speak up at the session. This is not the order, it's just a list of names. And again, my advice always, if you're feeling like maybe you're not quite ready and you feel like your other students are going to blow you away, this is the time where you volunteer to go first. Remember that advice, like go first, so that there isn't some kind of expectation set, and then you come along with your not quite as finished presentation as everyone else, and it shows that you haven't delivered quite as much. So go first if you're lacking, but don't be lacking. You still have time. It's the beginning of the weekend, or the middle of the weekend, and everyone should be working to get their presentations as well developed as possible. And just a reminder, the way we set this up, we're going to be grading, or I'll be grading this as a 50-point part of your grade based on visual quality, just sort of the design of it, the beauty of it, the precision of it, and just how good does it come off, as not just as pieces, but as a presentation overall. Your thinking and conceptual skills, your response to the problem, and how you sort of handled taking an issue and creating it into a viable solution, and the process you went through with me, and what it took to get to the final solution, and the collaboration and feedback response, and then just professionalism overall. Where did you stay on schedule? Did you post everything as needed? Did you have a good attitude to feedback? Were you collaborative? So those are the 5 elements that we'll be judging you on. So, okay, before we go to that, I want to just take you through really quick here. I'm not going to talk about the concept here, but really quickly take you through a final presentation, just the pages. And of course, this is everything you should already have. Basically, you're just kind of reworking it, and have a title page. Do not put your logo or the name of your brand on the title page. That's to be revealed later. If you put like a portion of your logo, that's fine, but like a hidden secret kind of thing, like a swoosh. But don't give away like what you're doing here. This is about telling the story, how to build up to it and revealing it. But this is your title page, and then the first part is just your research, and this is all from like week 1 and 2. So explain your cause, do it in a smart, fast way, and there's a lot of people to present. So when you do this, please don't read through every single thing that is on your page, and take a lot of time to get to the design portion. So have these kind of pages, go through them quickly, talk about the goals of what you're wanting your brand to be, begin to set up the parameters for your goal, talk about and show, like a lot of people don't do this. I want you to show who your target audience is. If you haven't done that, do it now. Show this kind of picture of who you're trying to reach. and who you're trying to help, and then we have like partner organizations or competitors or organizations doing similar work, or inspirational organizations that do this well. So showcase some of these, and for sure, don't take a long time here. Just show that you did this research, and if there are certain things about any of these 2 or 3 that you show that are going to be relevant to your solution, just highlight those quickly. And then we get into your brand strategy and begin talking about how you develop this concept of the way this brand is going to address this issue, whether it's directly to become an advocate for the issue or to become a consumer brand that uses this issue as one of its goals, but has other free market goals as well. So do that, and then you may want to showcase some of the solutions that you're thinking about without showing your design. This is just about like the idea of like showing examples of how other brands have responded, and the idea of the kind of things you want to be doing with your brand through visuals. And this person's doing a good job about using visuals to show what's possible here, because you're getting the message here without me even having to tell you what their strategy is going to be in a really good, strong visual way. And this is what like all these pages here really set up the idea of what's to come. And that's what the purpose of this is, so that by now the person, the audience, even yourself, has kind of already got an idea of what's coming. And now we get into the concept development, the name and the design exploration. You may want to like make this a little bit of a story to say how you the kind of names that you considered. A lot of you have kind of this section like is modest and small. The type is small. Like don't have this little small type thing. Don't make them struggle. Like nice and big here. And then also the idea of your brand values, like this foundation to what the meaning of your brand is going to be, what you're going to build the foundation of your brand on. And then the visual design personality of the brand and an inspiration, like what the kind of look and feel you want to have. And then we get into like developing the logo concepts, and each concept will have kind of a theme and text that backs up what that theme means. And all of this, of course, should be done quickly and efficiently as you go through this, and show the design inspiration. If there's something specific to what you actually did in your design inspiration, like point out to like how you think it's effective that these lines intersect in some way. And then when you get to this, and I didn't pick the right thing, but if you like the way this sort of type here has got a friendly, chunky appearance to it, and then you get to this page here, and it shows that you're utilizing that inspiration in your own specific way. And then you have that you have the design, and you have the mock-up page, the sort of sample mock-up page that just gives you a sense of what this brand looks like. And this is sort of an option of how the same idea can be done in a different way, and the mock-ups for that. And then our second one, go through the same process, inspiration page, the design, the sample mock-ups, and now you can begin to see like, oh, this one's not bad either. I like the other one too. And you begin to get these sort of inspirations. And then this is another variation of that same overall concept too. And then, so there's 4 ideas within 2 concepts here. And then we talk about taglines and what's potential. And then, she has these in parts. You don't have to do it this way, but it is kind of nice. So the brand identity, this shows now what the final choice was in terms of which logo option she selected, what tagline she selected. And then here's where you bring in your brand guidelines, your typography, your color palette, any other elements you may need. And then now we get into sort of the big show, I'll call it, and that is where you talk about your programs and the touch points and the vision of your brand and the story of it in the best way possible, that not only shows design applications onto mock-ups, but also shows it in the context of the real world with people in action doing the things you want them to do, by you selecting photography that you can mock up or put adjacent to other mock-ups that make the connection of what the brand's going to do. And this person does a good job of doing this. So we get into this idea of the box that arrives and finding the right kind of images, that using Photoshop, spending time searching on Google, don't rely on just mock-up websites. Like go to Google and try to find things, search the right way, look for bigger images, and then find things you can erase what's on this box and put your logo in here, and close-ups like this to show what the product is in your own way. And then, text also to support it without being too much. And then full page it sometimes, like this is a beautiful shot of this meal in action. And here you see the hint of the brand in the background. It works just perfectly. And this is the power you have as a designer. You're not like an executive making a PowerPoint, putting pictures in the squares that are available. You know how to enlarge things. You know how to crop things. You know how to pick good pictures. Do this. Make this a big part of what you're trying to do. Use grids like this to show then further the story, and then begin to go further into like the merch, whether it's an apron. This was not a mock-up. If this was something she looked for, the right kind of person, put it in here. Even if it's cropped off a little bit, you still know what it is, and it's very effective. And this is kind of more of a mock-up thing, but it shows the kind of food you want in here. And again, continue to tell the story. There's subtle uses of the logos here, but it does the job in a nice way. It's dynamic. It's not just some static, sort of cold, empty mock-up. You can use those too, but I want to mix them up with this. Show advertising campaign is going to be a key. Like, don't forget that part. Make sure you're out there telling the story. And here it's interesting, that same woman who had the apron on is shown here, probably from the same place that she pirated these pictures. And then again, like showing the brand in action, events, like finding this perfect picture where you could bring in your logo. And then she collaborated with one of her partners from the initial part of her presentation, Feed America. So show how that partnership would work in an event format. Maybe there's definitely a missed opportunity here with this apron. This should have been the logos on here or on the t-shirts as well. So I'm scolding this person, even though the project is done. So think about that. Like, think ahead, like, oh, there's an opportunity there. Maybe I could put a sign here that says something if needed. Use your time in the best way to get to this point. And then, get in there where this is like a mock-up of a bag and a hoodie can easily be found on these sites on a colorful background or a gray background. But here it gives you more of an implication of a brand in action and people interacting with it. And so do that, and then be innovative about how you want your brand to show up. And this shows Ingredients being this kind of pop-up mobile vehicle that sells popsicles or what, I don't remember, but it presents their food in a way that introduces the brand. Maybe I think these are free popsicles for kids, and a kind of a brand introduction to get people to sign up to help sponsor these boxes. And then social media, like, make this not like, put time into this, utilize the images you've already made. See here, we've seen all these images. They're just put in here as a social media page, and made, think about stories beyond this page and think about like a typical post. So this is a nice job of using three things. Here's the main page, here's a stories page, and then here's a post blown up or shown as a single click through with some text as well. And then, when you have a website, like, utilize these movie, I don't know the word for them, the mock-ups that move, that will give you this idea of how you can see the website in a way that quickly goes through and shows how it works. It's not a big website project. It's just enough to give the viewer an idea that the brand will be online in this strong way that's consistent to the way it looks everywhere else, and that this animation helps bring credibility to that. Same thing with mocking up your apps, if that's what you're doing. A lot of you are doing that, to showcase it very specifically in terms of these still pages and talking about the way that each of the levels of your app will work, but also doing these kind of moving mock-up dynamic pages that showcase the app being utilized in different sections. And this is effective. Like, it really makes you look competent, and it looks exciting, and it makes your brand seem alive. And then this is what I've been saying, that it's a little hard to understand, but I want everyone to then put together what I'm calling this overview page of your brand story. It has to do with your final mock-ups, not the whole story of your presentation, not your options, just sort of like, here's what my brand looks like in action. Well, here's a picture that's really great that I don't remember seeing big, that I now a second scolding here is like, this should have been in your presentation, because it really shows the idea of this kit coming to a home and being something that a subscriber gets. And then what happens here is I want you to talk about your app here, and then go, and then, so this is my brand, Ingredients, and thank you for your time. And then we're clapping, and then you don't stay here. I'll be making faces. Go back to this page when the reviewer starts to talk, because this way they can be like, wow, look at this. This is an amazing brand. It looks so real. I love this. I love the way you created your logo. the way you thought about events, this box idea, the way the app works, like it gives them a place to like kind of digest everything. Of course, it shouldn't be everything. You got to find a way to balance having a lot of stuff, but without it being so busy that it doesn't look good or it's too hard to see. So find that right mix of grid, fill the page up like this. And then if they want to see more, you can, of course, click back and like, I want to see that popsicle truck again. Like you can do that, but here at least they have a place to start. If you end here and stay here, like, please do not close your presentation when you're done. That would be the worst thing you can do. Make sure you leave it open and then come back to this page and have this page there. All right, so that's the quick thing that will help everyone to get ready. Make sure you do that. And I want to remind you that on the Google Drive, if you click on resources, you can see that presentation. I think it's here. If not, I'll put it here. I don't see that it's here. So I will add that presentation here. But you have a folder called Independent Project Final Presentation Example Videos. These videos will help you also just not only help you think about what you need to use to finalize your presentation, but also be examples of what you need to be making. Like these final videos are the same assignment that you have now to make a video for yourself. And then also on this deck is, I don't have the pictures for it, I don't think. No, but there's also the final independent project final presentation. If you click onto this folder, you'll find the folder for the final review deck, like the actual deck itself. You'll also find a folder for the video, put it in there. And there's also a folder for last week's last in progress deck. Put your last week's deck in there as well. Okay, so all that stuff is here on the Canvas page. The links take you to those places. And then just overall, utilize your relationship with me. Be reaching out. I'm not yet complaining to my family how I'm getting all these annoying emails from my students asking for help. I'm not getting that. So I want to be getting that. I want you guys to be reaching out to me, asking about what things you have questions about, asking me about the best way to do something. Send me your deck on Monday if it's ready to go, and I can give you more feedback. But please be active and utilize my time as much as you can while you still have access to it. Okay, so that's it for now. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's work. But please, it's in your hands. Like all I can do here is hope that you put your time in, but put in the time, be disciplined with your hours now, and know that you all have a great presentation that's possible. And right now, this is a time where you can go from good to great. So spend that time, be pushy to yourself, like don't be satisfied, want more, and spend the time to get there, and then be confident at your presentation that it will go great. Okay, looking forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday or Thursday. Thanks, everyone.